Is Ukraine's $500,000 Flamingo missile now being shot down one after another before it can reach Russia? What happened to Kyiv's Flamingos? And has Russia finally found the answer to Ukraine's deepest strike weapon? Once feared across Russia, is the Flamingo missile now barely reaching its targets through Moscow's new air defense net? Is Ukraine's Deadliest missile now in trouble after open-source tracking claimed Russia downed 10 of 11 Flamingos? How did Putin blunt Zelensky's most expensive missile by putting new radar eyes high above Russia? Russia may have found a way to blunt Ukraine's most powerful deep strike missile by detecting it earlier from the air. Ukraine's FP-5 Flamingo has recently struggled to penetrate Russian air defenses, which appear to be adapting fast. Only one or two of the roughly $500,000 missiles have reportedly reached targets in recent weeks, according to Euromaidan Press, highlighting a sharp fall in Flamingo breakthrough rates. On August 6, Ukraine reportedly launched at least 3 Flamingos toward Tyumen in western Siberia. The 6-ton jet-powered missiles flew about 2,500 kilometers before disappearing from tracking, indicating that they may have been intercepted before reaching their intended target area. Since July 1, Russia has reportedly shot down 10 out of 11 launched Flamingo missiles, an estimate based on open-source monitoring. However, no official Ukrainian or Russian figures have confirmed this open-source estimate, so the claimed tally remains unverified. In June, Ukraine launched 5 Flamingos toward the VNIR Progress Plant, a Russian electronics facility in Cheboksary around 960 kilometers from the Ukrainian border. 2 missiles reportedly struck the electronics plant in Cheboksary, demonstrating that some Flamingos had initially broken through. The missiles caused major blast and fire damage at the Russian facility, which produces electronics linked to Russian weapons and air defense manufacturing. The FP-5 Flamingo carries a massive 1,150-kilogram warhead, giving every successful hit far greater destructive power than Ukraine's standard long-range drone strikes. On July 4, an A-50U radar plane reportedly helped Russia detect 5 FP-5 Flamingos heading toward Votkinsk, a key Russian defense industrial city. Russian air defenses reportedly shot down all 5 incoming Flamingos, showing how early warning from the A-50U can allow ground batteries to prepare before the missiles arrive. On July 7, Russia reportedly deployed 4 A-50Us at the same time, an unusually concentrated effort for an aircraft fleet that Moscow cannot quickly replace. The radar planes helped coordinate the detection and interception of Flamingos, turning Russia's few surviving airborne warning assets into a dedicated anti-missile shield. Russia's A-50U radar planes are now patrolling likely Flamingo flight corridors, allowing Moscow to watch for low-flying Ukrainian missiles far beyond the reach of ground radar. On July 4, an A-50U reportedly helped Russian missile batteries down 5 FP-5s near Votkinsk, marking a key shift in how Moscow counters Ukraine's long-range attack campaign. A-50Us patrol likely Flamingo flight routes, positioning themselves where their radar can scan the most probable paths toward Russian industrial targets. Their airborne radars can look down on low-flying targets, overcoming the terrain and curvature limitations that reduce the reach of ground-based radar systems. Their high altitude extends radar detection range, giving Russian commanders more time to distinguish Flamingos from decoys and coordinate a response. Missile locations can be passed from the radar aircraft to ground units, connecting airborne surveillance directly to Russia's surface-to-air missile network. Air defense batteries can then engage incoming FP-5s with far earlier warning, increasing the chance of intercepting the cruise missiles before they approach protected sites. For aircraft reportedly operated together on July 7, highlighting how heavily Russia is now relying on its remaining A-50U fleet to defend against Flamingos. Putin's drone and missile blitz has left Zelensky facing a new troop morale crisis as Ukrainian soldiers report worsening conditions on the front. Ukraine's 121st Territorial Defense Brigade has reported shortages of food, water, and medicine while remaining deployed near the front line. The soldiers posted their appeal on Facebook on August 9, according to the Kyiv Independent, highlighting their worsening conditions. Ukrainian soldiers in Zaporizhia Oblast said they had gone without rotation for 4 months despite prolonged frontline deployment. The unit said its troops arrived in April to relieve soldiers who had already spent 8 months deployed in the same area. The new Ukrainian unit was originally told that its frontline deployment would last only 1 month before another rotation was expected. But troops said constant Russian drone threats had made rotation and resupply extremely dangerous across the battlefield. Ukrainian soldiers said drones constantly watched the battlefield, turning exposed roads and supply routes into potential kill zones. The Ukrainian unit said its positions could only be supplied by drone because sending ground vehicles through the area was too dangerous. Platoon commander Anatoly Sishchuk said deliveries of food could take as long as a week to reach troops at their frontline positions. The Ukrainian commander said troops sometimes received no supplies for periods ranging from 3 days to an entire week. On one occasion, platoon commander Sishchuk claimed his troops went as long as 12 days without receiving a food delivery. The commander said his troops no longer had the strength or resources needed to continue holding their positions under such conditions. The unit has asked for safe passage and transport, so its exhausted troops can be evacuated from their current frontline positions. But Operational Command South said the soldiers would be rotated once the security situation allowed such a movement to take place. Ukrainian military rules limit the time troops should remain in frontline positions to 2 months, with rotation normally due after that period. But on a drone-dominated battlefield, soldiers can remain trapped in exposed positions and foxholes for months when rotation routes become too dangerous. Russian forces struck port facilities in Odessa, Kyiv, and Kornomorsk on August 12, according to Russia's state-run TASS news agency. Russia's defense ministry said the attacks targeted military supply routes and key port infrastructure used by Ukrainian forces. In Odessa, Russia said it hit a military cargo ship, a fuel tanker, and a fuel storage depot during the overnight strikes. Russia also reported strikes on a Ukrainian patrol boat in Kyiv and fuel facilities in Kornomorsk, according to the defense ministry. A Russian drone strike set a hardware store in Zaporizhzhia ablaze, according to regional governor Ivan Fedorov. Putin's attack also cut power to about 1,200 consumers, while emergency crews battled the fire following the drone strike. A separate Russian attack damaged logistics facilities in Brovary in the Kyiv region, according to Ukrainian officials. Ukraine carried out a large attack on Sevastopol that left parts of the Russian-occupied city without power. Sevastopol Governor Mikhail Razvozhayev said the attack damaged energy infrastructure and disrupted electricity supplies. Russian air defenses, aircraft, and mobile fire groups were deployed as Moscow attempted to counter the Ukrainian attack. Ukraine said 4 Russian warships were damaged in a separate strike targeting the Novorossiysk naval base. The damaged vessels reportedly included 2 frigates, along with Buyan M and Vasily Bykov-class patrol ships. Zelensky called the Novorossiysk attack a unique operation targeting Russia's Black Sea Fleet. The Ukrainian president said Kyiv used Palianitsia jet drones, Neptune missiles, and naval drones during the operation. Ukraine also targeted Russian air defenses, piers, and port infrastructure as part of the attack, Zelensky said. Volodymyr Zelensky said, and I quote, "Last night, Ukraine's defense forces carried out a unique operation targeting the naval base in Novorossiysk, the last major stronghold of the Russian fleet in the Black Sea, more than 300 kilometers from the front line. Our Palianitsia jet-powered drones, Neptune missiles, and unmanned naval systems successfully struck the designated targets. Hits on air defense positions, piers, and seaport infrastructure have been confirmed. I thank the warriors of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, the Security Service of Ukraine, and our intelligence agencies for their accuracy and good results. The occupation fleet and all the infrastructure supporting it will not be safe as long as Russian aggression continues. The war must be stopped, and all reasonable proposals for diplomacy are on the table. Glory to Ukraine." Unquote.
Upgrade your news experience with the all-new HT app. Download now.